you're stealing money. We pay so much attention to quarterbacks and wide receivers. AB and Derek Carr, Baker Mayfield and OBJ, but quarterback and star running back equals wins. It just doesn't get the headlines. Drew Brees was just padding stats in New Orleans. They got Alvin Kamara. They're good enough to win the Super Bowl. Patrick Mahomes, when Kareem Hunt got hurt, that's with Tyreek Hill, with Andy Reid, with Travis Kelce. His completion percentage dropped 5%, passer rating down 15 points, passing yards went down 40 a game, and they were 4-3 without him. Dak without Zeke 2 years ago, 5 touchdowns, 7 picks. Passer rating dropped to the mid-70s. Andrew Luck last year, last 11 games, went 9-2. Why? Remember, he got to a bad start. Then the Colts got red hot. Why? The emergence of Marlon Mack. At the end of the year, Colts got a running game. Marlon Mack emerged as a running back for them, and Andrew Luck's numbers exploded. Quarterback, wide receiver will always get the headlines. Those don't produce wins. OBJ's last 16 games with the Giants, they were 4-12. His biggest games, his 10 biggest games, they were 3-7. Running back, quarterback equals wins. Mahomes, never the same last year when Hunt left. Dak's not the same without Zeke. Jared Goff was not nearly as dynamic in the last 7 weeks when Todd Gurley had his arthritis. Andrew Luck popped when Marlon Mack emerged. All right, so if I was Dallas and Zeke, I'd sign him early. Casper Mattress guarantees a great night's sleep. Casper.com, code HERD, $100 toward the purchase of select mattresses. Additional fees for Alaska and Hawaii. Terms and conditions apply. Flew up to Seattle yesterday. Good Lord, was it pretty. Not a cloud in the sky. Mount Rainier looked beautiful. Good to have you in today. So, here's what's funny. I tend to think I'm kind of a wet blanket on big news. I think everybody overreacts. I'm not a millennial. I'm not 20 years old. I've seen everything 1,000 times. There's no new stories. I love my job. But I'm not some millennial on the internet that freaks out because one player goes to one team and one player goes to... I mean, hell, last week OBJ goes to Cleveland. You got the Browns in the Super Bowl. Oh, stop it. This is an owner, GM, coach league. You think the Browns are elite at those positions? I'm kind of the opposite of the hot take guy, which is there's I have strong opinions, but here's become the recent NFL hot take. The Steelers are going to be terrible. Okay. Kansas City. Nobody is bailing on Kansas City this morning. NFL.com came out with their power rankings yesterday. Kansas City's 6th, and they're behind great teams, right? They're behind the Patriots and the Rams, and Kansas City is 6th. Kansas City has lost a star receiver, Tyreek Hill. Fastest player in the league. You can't duplicate him. 2 very good pass rushers, Justin Houston, D. Ford. Houston had 9 sacks in 12 games. Star running back Kareem Hunt, and about to be a Hall of Fame eventual safety, Eric Berry. 5 guys, playmakers. Kansas City's in a division with the stacked playoff Chargers. Lost 5 top players in a historically tough division. The Raiders are way better, and the Broncos, I think, upgraded at quarterback. And everybody's still picking Kansas City. The Steelers on NFL.com this morning.
Well, hello, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo. And as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. Let's get open for business here. And I know I've got to get myself a switch for this. And I will get that soon. In fact, I'm going to order one tonight, a special switch that'll be a remote so I can just go bam, push that button. But as always, I want to thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. So we want to thank our football gods above and Joseph Hartley, because we are truly open for business now. That's right. We've got the blue from the heavens. Unfortunately, I lost a fan today. A person said they love my show. They love what I talk and everything else. But because I am praying to the football gods, he can no longer support me. So the fact that I had a voodoo doll didn't bother you, but praying to Tom Landry does. Okay, all right, moving right along here. Colin Cowherd actually was talking about the NFL power rankings. And you know, this is where we used to have a Falcon fan that used to always come on and tell me about the power rankings and things like that. And I say it's basically a bunch of, oh shit! Excuse me. Sorry, catching a cold here. Because what they did last year was basically they took all the teams that were playoff teams last year and they said, Daniel Thompson, thank you very much for the super chat. They basically took all the teams from last year and they put them and said that's the top 10, 12 teams in the league. They're going to do the same thing next year. And you figured they would do the same thing this year. So we're just going to take a quick look. We got Cowboys 1980 that's going to call in at 9:15. And we also may have DMV Dallas Cowboys. So I'm going to take care of a few things real quick. But I almost find this comical because, of course, they got Super Bowl champions, New England #1. Then they have the Saints, #2. Then the Rams, the Chargers, and then the Colts. And then the Chiefs. And like Colin Cowherd was pointing out, they did lose a lot of people. Then they have the Eagles, the Bears, and the Cleveland doo-doo Browns doo-doo no more. Seattle Seahawks. And then finally, they have us Cowboys. Interesting, right? You know, even though we won a playoff game, we beat the Seahawks, you know, we end up beating the Eagles twice, of course, right? Yes, Victor, he said, because I'm praying to the football gods, he can't watch anymore. Like I said, I mean, I understand that. Some people will say that's sacrilegious, but I'm like, but I've always had a voodoo doll as a mascot. So I'm just going to leave that one alone. But here's what's interesting, because I always like to do my research. We're going to go back a year. Junebug, thank you very much for the super chat. I got to add you guys because we're going to do some drawings tonight. So, Junebug. And there was one other one. What was the other one? Who was the other person that did a super chat? Oh, hold on. Sure would be nice if I had an assistant. Danielle Thompson. Thank you very much for the super chats. We actually have a full, and I mean a full, bucket in here of all the names that we got thus far for super chats this month. I appreciate all the support, and we're going to be giving away some of the memorabilia. I have some other stuff that we're going to be using later on as well. We're going to keep doing like drawings on each show and stuff. So let's go through last year's power rankings and see how it stacks up. Philadelphia Eagles, Super Bowl champs. See a pattern here? New England Patriots, runner-up. Minnesota Vikings, how did they finish up last year? Sal, thank you very much for the super chat. As we keep on going through, Saints, Saints, of course, were a good team, playoff team that year before. Sal Manola. Pittsburgh Steelers. How'd they do last year? The Rams, they did pretty good. The Falcons, boy. And I remember, it was so funny because I remember brethren coming in and saying, oh, my Atlanta Falcons, they are rated 7th in the NFL. Where's your Cowboys? 20-something. Ha, ha, ha. Shut up. Jacksonville, how'd they do? Green Bay Packers, how'd they do? Texans. San Francisco at 11. Carolina Panthers, Seattle, Kansas City, Chargers, Titans, and there it was, the Cowboys. Richard Normus. Haha. See what I did there? See what I did there? Richard Normus, thank you very much for the super chat. So that's one of my pet peeves there. And I got a second one today. This is another one that kind of drove me crazy here. And this is good old Bleacher Report. You know, if you go to Bleacher Report, okay, here we have Bleacher Report. And you go through, Dallas Cowboys stuff. You got Clarence Hill talking about Clinton Gathers and Eric Berry and stuff. Okay. Ranking the free agents and stuff that aren't here. What to expect from the Dallas Cowboys. Secondary ceiling, Scouts Notebook, David Moore. Okay. Dallas offense. Okay. And then here it is. Boom. Report. Pac-Man Jones agrees to jail time in casino cheating case. Why is that a Dallas Cowboy report? He played with the Cowboys. Okay, let me turn it up a little bit more. He played with the Cowboys 1 year. Let me say it again. He played with the Cowboys for 1 year. Just one. So how come that's Dallas Cowboys news? Anybody? This is what it goes back to when I talk about how the Cowboys, we get more flack and more crap than anybody else in the world. Because Adam Jones was, he had a cup of coffee with Dallas. Yet he's arrested and doing jail time for cheating a casino. And that's considered Dallas Cowboys news? He did play for Cincinnati. He played for the Titans. Why isn't it news on those sites? Anybody? Anybody else got an answer for me? Or am I just crazy? Here we go with the sound again. Uh-oh. Okay, hold on. All right. Is that better? Is that better? Am I better now? A little bit better? A little too much? Is somebody messing with me? It's spiking again? Okay. Somebody keeps telling me that it's too low, so I've been turning it up. Okay. Okay, I'm going down, Richard Normus, okay? Somebody kept saying I was too quiet, turn it up. So I don't know if somebody was messing with me. Maybe they were just messing with me on that. Okay, hopefully that's it. I mean, it sounded good in my ears before. No, too high again? All right, see, I don't know who's messing with me, who's not. Because I got too high again, and I got good, better, too much. Okay. I'm going to come back just a hair. What you can do is just get a little closer to the screen. How about that? Okay. But yeah, this is the whole thing with the Dallas Cowboy hate, because here it is. You got Robert Kraft. He gets a plea deal. All you got to do is just say you would have been found guilty. You'll be okay. And here it is. We have Tyrone Crawford, who, I'm sorry, do you guys really think that was anything to Tyrone Crawford? I mean, I've seen that in the bar all the time, man. A little fight here and there, no, I didn't see anybody carried off in an ambulance or a broken nose or anything like that, but here it is. The NFL is looking for film on that. Are they looking for film on Tyreek Hill? Is that where we are? I'm just saying. Just saying. And you look at Kansas City, it seemed like Kansas City had a whole lot of stuff going on there. Dallas been pretty quiet. Now, we did have Rico Gathers basically do a plea deal, and he's done with his situation, so at least we got that out of the way. Now, back to our Dallas Cowboys here. We no longer have George Iloka here in Dallas. He's actually left without a contract. So this is 3 strikes for the Cowboys. We had Eric Berry, of course. I don't think the Cowboys thought that he was going to be worth the money that he was looking for with the chance of the injuries. No cop was hit. It was a security guard. Well, when I look, North Carolina's biggest fan, when I look at the films, I see 5 guys all on top of him. I see guys swinging and everything else. And if I got 5 guys on me, I'm not going to go ahead and just say beat the crap out of me. I'm going to try and get you all off me. And I'm going to be in a rage. So I don't know where that goes. We'll see what happens. Hopefully there's nothing of that. Now, before we hopefully get my man in here for real quick, Mike, can you come over and we're going to go ahead and do one of these drawings right now. if Michael doesn't mind getting up. While we're waiting for Cowboys Fan 1980. So, what we're going to draw for is, Michael sure moves fast, is, okay, here we go. This vintage, and Joseph's in here, so Joseph could probably tell us the story of everything behind this one. But Joseph has a lot of collectible stuff that's in here. Richard Normus, thank you very much for the super chat. Okay, let me set this here and do one more for.
That's easy though.
What's that?
Why they put Dallas Cowboys? Because no one would read it if it wasn't Dallas Cowboys.
All right.
No one would read it if
Would
they
read
say
what?
Dallas Cowboys such and such.
Well, it drives me crazy.
I say no one would read it.
It truly drives me.
That's the truth though. No one would read
crazy.
the article if it doesn't say Dallas Cowboys on it.
Okay.
I certainly wouldn't.
All right. Well, here we have Michael Anthony. We don't know how much he actually wanted. Make sure you like the. Oh, thank you very much, Tamir. Oh man, Richard Normus. I'm not going to say Dickie. Well, we'll say Dickie. Okay.
I get it.
Yeah. So Michael picked it out. All right. So Richard Normus, email me and let me see. Okay, we're gonna try something new here too. Okay. Let me see if I got this. Let me see if I got this right now. Wait a minute. Let's see. Hold it. Boom. All right. So in the corner over there, Richard Normus. Okay. Richard Normus is the email underneath Mark Holmes. So email me with your address so that way we can get that out to you. We'll do another drawing later on. What we're also going to do is sounds like I'm underwater talking to a fan. Okay, I tell you what, let me try something. Oh, no wonder. I had the special effects still on because Richard Normus messed me up. Sorry. We have, usually when we get super chats, I'll go, thank you very much for the super chat, and I'll turn it off, but I forgot to turn it off. It's been a long week. I'm sorry. It's been a long, it's just been a long week. So there's Joseph Hartley who just sent the shirt back to me. Unfortunately, we can't get it around as far as I'd like to go ahead and go because next weekend, Dak will actually be here. But dude, you're supposed to call me in. J-Rod, come on, man. You're supposed to call in at 9:15. Let's see if we got him. Why is my camera working? Cowboys fan 1980. I don't see you, my man.
All right, brother. Wait a minute. What's going on?
Oh, ain't nothing going on right now.
You can't see me.
There you go. What's happening? How are you doing, my man? You know, we've been playing tag for a couple of years now.
Right.
Let me turn you up just a little bit here. How are we doing tonight?
Man, I'm good, bro. How about you, bro? It's Friday, TGIF. Y'all know how I do it.
Well,
Five down, 0 to go.
Well, I was hoping that we were going to end up having something happen with our Cowboys and stuff with Robert Quinn and things, but nothing happened on that one. So we are just sitting around waiting. So tell everybody a little bit about yourself while we got you here.
Hey, man, diehard fan since 1980, man. You know how I do it. I've been on YouTube off and on since 2012.
Okay.
Been watching you, man. Hey, I appreciate everything you do. You and Shango, man, you the godfather. Shango's the Lord. But, hey, man, I'm just, like I say, diehard Dallas Cowboy fan, man. Just trying to get the word out there, man. Just trying to help out where I can. Yeah, I mean, hey, it is what it is, man. I'm just ready to rock and roll, ready to get the season started.
Okay. So how do you feel so far with what the Cowboys have done this offseason?
I feel pretty good. We've made some smart, silent, killer moves. We haven't been out there as far as the big names, and that's good. You know, everybody wanted the big names, and everybody, you know, Cowboys kind of silent during the offseason. So I'm pretty good. I'm comfortable with what we've been doing. I don't know what they're going to do about the D-Law thing. That's still in the works. So, we just got to play it by ear, play it one thing, take it one thing at a time, take it one day at a time.
Well, one thing the Cowboys, don't do. They don't do these contracts real quick. Because think about last year, Zach Martin. This is deja vu. Remember Zach Martin? Because we were actually into OTAs, and Zach Martin was sitting out, was like, I'm not working out until I get a contract.
Yeah.
So, you're still talking about another month and a half or so. And you think back to Dez Bryant's deal. Dez Bryant, that got kind of ugly. There was all kinds of stuff that was brought up about, you remember there was there might be a film out there of Dez Bryant that's 12 times worse than Ray Rice and stuff. So that one took kind of a long time. And I still think the Cowboys are a little gun shy after the Dez Bryant one, that they're really, really thinking this thing over, but I think they'll get it done.
That'll do it. That'll really make you gun shy. I mean, we've been having some bad luck in the past with free agency and stuff like that. And I think they just kind of playing it safe. You know what I'm saying? Going into this. But you're exactly right. I think the D-Law thing, man, to me is like I said on my live stream the other day. When you pump somebody's head up that much, we know D-Law is a threat. He's a big time threat on the defensive line, and we could use him. He's a good guy. He's a good player. But I think his head is kind of pumped up to where his agents in his ear and the media and things like that. When you let somebody know that they're that good all the time, they're gonna say, "Oh, well, show me the money and this and this and that." So it's one of those things that nobody wants to give. I think. But I think he deserves the money. But they already paying him. I mean, look, they're paying him $20 million last year. They're paying him $20 million this year. Yeah. I mean, they're gonna keep. What are they gonna keep doing? I mean, they're gonna. How long are they gonna keep?
You're right about that. But the thing is when you look at somebody like say Alex Smith, who's getting $73 million, and he got hurt and may never play again, and that is the reality for all these players. That listen, the next play might be my last one, and from his point of view, at least I can see it's like, look, I gave you last year, the franchise year and stuff to prove myself. I've already proved myself now 2 years in a row. So, why is it you don't want to pay me? And that's the same thing we get with a lot of fans that talk about Dak. They'll say, well, let him play in his rookie contract for another year and prove himself. Do you think he needs to prove more?
I don't think so. I mean, he's proven himself 2 times. I mean, Dallas doesn't like paying defensive players.
Yeah.
They don't like to do that. I mean, they like to pour money into our offensive guys. They've been like that probably since Dion. I mean, we can go back that far. I mean, since primetime was the last, or they didn't even pay D. Ware, really. How much was D. Ware making?
When we cut him, it was $16 million cap hit. But some of that may have actually been because we kept. See, the problem for the Cowboys, remember, was we kept paying guys after one good year. Remember Miles Austin, Jay Ratcliffe, Marion Barber. Can you believe they gave a $54 million contract to Marion Barber, who was a part-time starter? Yeah. And all of those things kept us having to restructure and getting us in cap out. June Buck, thank you very much for the super chat. So I think that's where they're hesitant on that one. But I think you got to do it, though. I mean,
they got to work something out, man. Go ahead and do it. I mean, my thing is, there's a lot of people that don't like D-Law. They think he doesn't deserve the money. And I think a guy like him, if I can get this out, a guy like him, you got to go ahead and pay him while we got him, because we're there. Now, there's another D-Law out there somewhere, that's younger and but you got to develop him. And Dallas has a hard time developing guys,
especially
like that.
In the offense.
Like that. I mean, guys, but you have to develop this guy. But why go back to the drawing board when we already got him? I mean, he's young. And my thing with D-Law is, why is he waiting on the surgery? Now, this is the mental part of D-Law I don't get. If you're a diehard football player, and you got, whether you play with the Cowboys or not, you got to get that surgery done so you can perform at a high level.
Yeah.
Don't use that surgery back against the Dallas Cowboys like, oh, I'm not going to get this surgery until, oh, okay, I've been a minute. I'm not gonna get this surgery until y'all show me the money and all that. That's the thing. That kind of bothers me a little bit.
Well, he's trying to, I mean, I understand he's trying to use whatever the levers that he's got, because the reality is, either you take, if the Cowboys play hardball and say either you take that or you just sit out the year and we can still franchise tag you next year, you have the Antonio Brown situation. I don't think they'll go that far, but who knows? And I'd almost hate to say it, but New England, that's kind of the New England way. You think about Trey Flowers, they let him walk, and what do? They end up getting Bennett.
Yeah, but you got to remember, New England can do that. They can let anybody walk, but they're gonna be there. You get what I'm saying? Their coaching makes up for what they're lacking as far as talent.
Right.
They can take mediocre guys and still go deep in the playoffs, or hell, the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. See, we can't do that. We need the talent because we don't have the coaching just yet. I mean, we got good coaches, but we don't have the coaching just yet that they have. They can take anybody off I'm exaggerating when I say this, but they can take anybody off the street and still go deep in the playoffs and to the Super Bowl, like I just said, and still make it work. Teams like us, we got to have those big time players to compensate for the lack of coaching that we've been having up until now. Right. Now, next season hasn't started yet. 2019, 2020 hadn't started yet. So I don't know what type of impact that Kellen Moore is going to have on the offense. They say he's a playbook genius guru guy. So I don't know that. That's to be determined. But and then Chris Rashad, we still got him, So I'm not really worried about our defense too much, but the offense is what I'm really curious about as far as Kellen. I hate to switch subjects that quick, but
no. First time on the show, man. I'm letting you go ahead and roll and stuff with this. Well, I think just from the simple fact that you got somebody else calling the plays, it's going to be at least a little bit better.
A little bit different, yeah.
I mean, we are, and I think also too the change of personnel. Okay, when you think about 2 years ago with Dez Bryant was always on the outside.
Yeah.
And he had basically 5 routes that they ran, and I'm not saying it's because Dez Bryant couldn't run more than 5 routes. That's what Scott Linehan's office did. I think, truly, if you ask me, I think after the 2016 season, the Dallas Cowboys got drunk on their own stuff. That they figured, we got the best offensive line in football. We got the young stud running back. We got a rookie of the year quarterback. We don't need to change anything. We just show up.
Yeah, they were still going off of that. Yeah.
Right. And then when you lost Tyrone Smith, and then other teams looked exactly what you did and studied in offseason, and they realized what you need to do to stop Zeke is you need to get penetration. So instead of those defensive linemen sitting back waiting, they were getting upfield, and that was slowing down Zeke, because Zeke is better at, let me hit that hole. But if you can slow him down in the backfield, he's less effective. And that's what happened with the Cowboys, because they looked like they were dumbfounded whenever Zeke couldn't run. They didn't know, well, what do we do? The Denver game. That game was, you looked at that game, they shut him down, and the staff was just like, what do we do?
Yeah, the Denver game was an exact replica of the LA Rams game last year.
Right.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
So,
we didn't have an answer at all. That should be no excuse with all the weapons we got now. Look at the weapons we got.
Right.
Look at the artillery we got now. I think
the key now is, Cole Beasley was great in the slot. Cole Beasley, great man in the slot. But Cole Beasley, that was about all it. He was that one-trick pony, and he wasn't going to take it to the house very often, if at all. If Randall Cobb's healthy, he can play outside, he can play inside. You can take Cooper, he can play outside, and he's deadly actually on the inside in the slot. And if Michael Gallup continues his progression, he becomes a deep threat.
Yeah.
So to me, you now have a whole bunch of different combinations. And I even think, and this is to me, I think they'll do a lot of 12 personnel. Because now that they got Witten back, because what you can do with that now, Blake Jarwin is one tight end, Jason Witten as the other one, right? You basically have 7 offensive linemen, right?
2 tight end set. Yep.
2 tight end set. You can run it right up the middle. If the safety's in the middle, you can also use that as a passing formation.
There you go.
Blake Jarwin,
Jason Witten's a blocker.
He's a blocker, but he's also a pass catcher. Blake Jarwin, he showed that he can catch the ball. And you got Amari Cooper, and you've got Gallup on the outside. So if you've got 8 men in the box, then
Right.
run the tight ends out in the roots. Go ahead and have your other two guys go deep. They're going to have one-on-one. So from that look, you can do almost anything. And
That's
then
right.
you go ahead and go ahead and pull Michael Gallup out. I mean, pull Randall Cobb out there. And if Hearns is there, go 4 wideouts. To me, they should be able to do a lot more combinations on offense than they were last year.
That's right. That's right. Now, how did you feel about Jason Witten coming back?
We didn't get numbers-wise. We got about the same amount of catches that we had when Jason Witten was there. But I think we have 4 touchdowns, or was it 5 out of the tight ends?
I think it was 5.
But 3.
I know Jarwin had
3 against the Giants.
3 against the Giants.
Right. So you only got 2 more touchdowns out of your tight ends.
Yeah.
You know, in 15 games. Jason Witten has never been a speed guy.
No,
We know that.
Exactly.
But we know he has good hands. He always seems to find that spot where he can sit in the middle and be a possession guy. To me, at least, I think that Dak Prescott, a lot of the sacks he took, it was like he was looking for that security blanket guy.
It wasn't fair last year, especially in the red zone.
Right.
That's why we couldn't see, and that was the thing about lack of creativity in the red zone. We didn't have that last year. Now we got all these different weapons, and Linehan's out of the picture. The creativity in the red zone should be. It's easy to start from the other side of the field and run the ball with Zeke or get a big play with Amari Cooper for 60 yards. It's easy to do that, but you have to be creative once you get in the red zone. You have to really go in the bag of tricks and really do some coaching once you get in the red zone. And we were lacking that last year. That's why Zeke only had 7 touchdowns, I think.
Yeah.
6 or 7, yeah. And we just didn't have an answer in the red zone. And I believe with Witten back, he would work with these young guys. I don't think Witten is even going to start. Witten is going to be a situational tight end where he come in, like you said, to come in and block, be a decoy, get the first down, move the chains on the 3rd down, things like that. I don't think he's really going to come back and be a full-fledged starter. I still believe Jarwin and Schultz are going to still kind of, get those rotations. But I don't know. It depends on who we're playing, too. You got to remember, the tight end position and the slot receiver position, they attack the weakest part of a passing defense.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So once we can get back on track with that, just like New England, that's how New England gets up the field so easily. Because linebackers can't cover. Safeties really can't cover that well. That's why Gronk and Edelman are able to get down, go deep, seam route outside to the flats. They're always open because that's the weakest part of the defense. If the Cowboys can figure that out and use all these weapons, Cobb, Witten, Schultz, Jarwin, eat the middle of the field up like that, we can nickel and dime the field, get in the end zone. Can't get all the way down there and kick a damn field goal. That's what pisses me off. That's what pissed me off last year. But they just got to figure out how to work that out. Hopefully Kellen Moore can reach in the bag of his genius tricks that they said he has, and work something out.
Okay. Let me switch gears real quick. Michael Carlson sent me a video, Cowboys Crunk, of it's a different angle of the Tyrone Crawford deal, but to me it still doesn't show much of anything. Let me switch camera angles. It's so small it's hard to even see it, so let me see if we can get it. It's amazing to me how the whole Tyrone Crawford thing, that they are, investigating the hell out of a barroom fight in Florida, and you got guys that are beating their kids after 3 years ago he was beating his pregnant girlfriend and stuff. So let's
the Cowboys, man.
What we got here on this thing. This is supposedly a different angle. I don't know if you guys can actually see it. It looks like, okay, they're holding him back. He's not swinging at anybody. What's funny is your video comes up next.
My video?
Yeah, well, that's funny. Your video comes up next. Let me try and play this one more time. I'm sorry. I've got 5 guys literally holding on to him.
Yeah.
Holding him back.
Right.
And he's doing absolutely, he's not swinging anything. He's being restrained.
They're going to find something wrong with that. My video, I just played the audio of the 105.3 The Fan. I listen to that on the way to work.
Yeah.
And every morning I listen to that. And they had the audio and all that stuff. That's all I did. I really didn't say too much.
To me, you know, of course, because it is a Dallas Cowboy player, they're gonna play it up as much as possible and try and make it, you know, into more than I think it really is. I mean, that is a barroom brawl. It's not like unless there's something else that we're missing here. It didn't look like he was going through and, you know, punching people down and everything else. It looked like tempers flared, and you had all the bar people trying to get him out of the place. But, you know, it's the NFL. We'll see what happens. Aaron Garcia, thank you very much for the super chat, as well as H. Flores. Thank you very much. So, to me, it drives me crazy because just before you came on, I was talking about if you go to Bleacher Report, they have Adam Jones underneath the Dallas Cowboys being locked up.
I heard you talking about that. I didn't hear nothing about that.
You know, he's been in the NFL for what, 12 years? He played 1 year with the Cowboys, but that's a Dallas Cowboy report. You know, that's one of those things where you know you're going to get publicity if the Dallas Cowboys.
That's it. We the most loved and the most hated team in America, man. Anything that they can do to get our name tagged onto something, they're gonna try to do it, bro.
Now you live in Dallas, right?
That's just the world we live in. Dallas Cowboy hate.
Now
And then this morning, did you hear the Eagles trying to knock us off the Thanksgiving?
Yeah, they pulled that back real quick. You know, they got some backlash on that one. But you live in Dallas, right?
Yeah.
How many games you go to? You go to a couple of them?
I didn't get one the year before last. I didn't get to go any last year, but the year before I went to 2.
Okay, you going to any this year?
I'm gonna try to.
Okay, I'm hoping I'll see you down there because I'm definitely gonna be down for at least two or three or so this year, and we're gonna be definitely going to the Redskin game and maybe even to New York and stuff because I just got to get down and around my people, man.
I talked to Lau yesterday, matter of fact. He lives not too far from me, probably like maybe 20, 25, maybe 30 minutes from him. So that's...
Richard Normus is definitely trying to get his name out there today. Good Lord, man. Actually, we've got Vosh coming. Vosh is up in the area for the next week, and he's coming by here on Sunday, so we're going to be live streaming Sunday afternoon. We're going to have E2 Blue here. We'll have... DMV, Dallas Cowboys, of course, Michael Anthony Fitness and stuff. So we'll be smoking some cigars, talking about the Cowboys and things. Now, if you were the GM, you were Jerry Jones, what would be the position that you want to go for in the draft? And who would it be? Or let me change that. What would be your move right now in free agency? Are you done? Or are you going to still keep trying to get a safety? And then what are you doing in the draft?
They can, if they're really trying to look for safety, they can find a safety in the draft. Now I don't know who, but you can find a safety and develop them. With Chris Rashad, they just got to learn to start developing guys. They can find. I think I'm done in free agency right now. Everything else they can pretty much draft. Like seriously, I mean we got the key. Pretty much the key. We got defensive tackle. What's his name? Covington. Mm-hmm. They don't know what they're gonna do with Quinn. Hopefully Quinn will come aboard. He'll be a good addition. He'll be real good. He's an excellent edge rusher.
Right.
I would. You know, we're good. Like seriously. You know, we were 2 games away from the Super Bowl last year. So I mean, we don't have to do that much work. It's just a little bit of coaching that has to be worked on, and that's in development and all that. Development experience, all that is wrapped up into one. To me, that's just to me.
Blake Adam, thank you very much for the 2 super chats. So Cowboys Crunk is saying the problem with that was that those were 2 undercover police officers. But here's what I say. If there was a problem, Cowboys Crunk, if he had swung at some police officers, they would have arrested him or done something or charged him with something that night.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Now, that's not to say that the NFL police don't try and do something. I mean, here it is. You know, Robert Kraft is now, his attorneys are now saying that the stop or the stop of his car and stuff were illegal. So, you know, when you have attorneys that get paid a whole bunch of money, they're going to make sure that his stuff doesn't stink. You know what I'm saying? The justice system isn't always equal, and I guarantee you soon that whole situation is going to be swept under the rug here.
Oh, yeah.
And here we have this is being made to be the worst thing. In fact, it's probably being pushed by Robert Kraft and all them.
You know what I mean?
To go ahead and get some of the attention away from him. Get the Cowboys over there. They're the ones that are messing up. So, Crunk, I'm done with that one for now, man. Okay, it's one of those things that if you look at it enough times, you can say whatever you're going to say. Cowboy fans are going to say Cowboy players are just assholes. They're always fighting and doing stuff, and they're dirty, and that narrative's not going to change. And me, of course, being a Cowboy, drinking the Cowboys Kool-Aid, I'm going to end up saying, nah, man, he's safe. But, from everything I've seen.
Stuff like that happens every day. But it's just happened to be Tyrone Crawford. That ain't nothing new. You go to the club right now. You can go to a club, somebody fighting somewhere. So it happens every day. But unfortunately, it's Crawford. You just gotta stay home. Just stay home, man. Ain't nothing out there for you.
Or just have your party at home. Just have your party at home.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Especially, like you say, especially in Florida. The laws are different over there.
Florida and Arizona, you want to stay away from on both sides of it. But okay, so you feeling that we're good in free agency. So you're not doing anything.
No, not free agency.
With Quinn.
I'm done. I was hoping for Gathers, the safety from Indy.
Yeah.
I was really hoping for him, but they decided to sign him back or whatever. The guys that they're looking at, they got all the tackles and everything, but my concern is playmaking ability, interceptions. That's what I'm not seeing. I'm seeing tackles. I'm seeing forced fumbles. Mm-hmm. I need guys to learn how to go after the ball. The ball is your friend. When you're in training camp, and they do defensive back drills. Yeah. You got to follow the ball. Beep. Straight back. Turn. You got to follow the ball. But I guarantee you, every single one of them youngsters that was doing that are not. When that ball is in the air, they're not going to turn their head and look back at the ball. Right. I'm telling you what I know. We need somebody in here. We got enough tacklers. All they need to do is wrap up. Learn how to wrap up. We're good. We got plenty of tacklers. We need guys to go after the ball. Same thing with Cheeto. Same thing with Byron Jones. Mm-hmm. They're good corners, but they are not playmakers. There's a difference. You can be a good corner, but you can't. Dion was a playmaker on defense.
True.
That's why he was so great. That's why quarterbacks neglected. Dion didn't even have to go to the huddle. They neglected to throw to his side. Dion would be waiting. Him and Lawrence Taylor were the only two guys that could sit out there and wait on everybody else until the defense was ready.
But so you bring up Lawrence Taylor, though, but it wasn't just Lawrence Taylor over there. Lawrence Taylor ended up getting the lion's share of the stuff, but they had other guys like, Harry Carson and stuff like that. They had that defensive line that they could put constant pressure on that quarterback, that quarterback was pissing down his leg and trying to hurry up and get rid of the ball. D-Law, who I think he had 21 tackles for loss, which tied with Calais Campbell for lead in the NFL, and I think he was second in pressures in the NFL. A lot of pressure on that side. You had Randy Gregory, who played better as the season went on, but he ended up having a lot of he had a lot of bonehead penalties too. Where he pushed the guy in the back before halftime. We lost 3 points.
Man.
Yeah, you remember that?
I remember that.
Face masking. I'm trying to remember. Was it Aaron Rodgers? No. Who was it that he faced? He got a little face, but just barely touched him and stuff. Another time hitting the guy in the knees. So, there's been some times where you've had brain farts, but that was just from him being raw. But if we could get another guy on the other side with the guys that I think that they brought in as a rotation and put that constant pressure, that's where Quinn would make an interesting duo over there. If you got Quinn with Rod Martinelli working with him and can put some pressure on that side, and then you have DeMarcus Lawrence on the other, and you get Antoine Woods, you get Collins and things in the middle.
Covington,
Yeah, and you get that rotation.
Man.
To me, okay, again, my thing, I've been looking for one technique, a bulldozer or a fire hydrant, a guy that's about 350 and about 6'1".
One sap.
That can push in the middle, because in that quarterback, if you're the quarterback, you're seeing D-Law on the outside, you're seeing another beast rusher over here, and you got this guy that's not going to move. Where am I going to go? I got to hurry and get rid of this football, and that's when the mistakes and the turnovers happen.
Right. There you go. You're right. You're exactly right. We gotta find some ball hawks in the draft, or if they're gonna bring somebody in on safety or whatever, free agent. We gotta find somebody that has an eye and a knack for the ball. The ball, you got to keep your defense fresh. It's good getting 3 and outs. That's fine.
Right.
But when a 3 and out is different than a turnover. Mm-hmm. A 3 and out is okay. 3 and out, then back on the sideline, did what we had to do. Okay, but when you get a pick or a forced fumble or a strip sack, it takes the life out of the other team. It literally takes the life out of them. Now they're thinking, they're scared. They're trying, what do we do? We got this guy to worry about. We got this guy to worry about. Damn, he intercepts passes. It starts with the defensive line. They're the first line of defense. If we can have a dominant defensive line, like you say, and like everybody else say, I heard you say this a couple of videos ago you made, it makes everybody else better. It's a domino effect.
Yeah.
It's a domino effect. And all we have to do, these guys have to be taught. They have to be taught to look back when that ball is in the air. They're already there. Mm-hmm. I'm a cornerback guy. That's what I studied cornerback. I played cornerback in high school, college, and little arena football too. And I'm not just the best at it, but I do have the position down to a science. Mm-hmm. And I know you have to feel. You have to feel where the ball is.
Right.
And these guys are not feeling. They're not feeling. They're there, but they're not feeling where the ball is. Mm-hmm. And you have to know. You have to have a knack for it. The ball is your friend. You got to get the ball back. Get your offense back on the field. Get another chance. That's how you win games. You can't win games. You cannot milk the clock. You can't treat defense like offense. You can't milk the clock on defense, because you're gonna get, when you're tired. Trust me, I went both ways some games. When you're tired, you can't think. You can't think straight. You're not gonna make
right about that one. Yes.
Starting material decisions. You get what I'm saying? So
what is the saying?
You got to really work on that playmaking skills on the defensive side of the ball.
Jimmy Johnson used to say that exhaustion makes cowards of us all. I think it was something like that.
Fatigue makes cowards of us. Yep, you're exactly right.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I missed the comment, but somebody was saying that you would give up a 4 for Quinn, and I think that's actually what's happened right now. Is the Cowboys have figured out that whole New Orleans thing was a bait and switch just to try and drive up the offer.
Oh.
That's what I think. I think from Miami as well as from Quinn, because Quinn is there. Hey man, I want to come play and stuff, but the Saints are offering me money too. See if the Cowboys jump in, and I think the Cowboys have backed off and said, you know what, Saints don't really want to do that, and I think they're waiting around and saying that Miami is just going to go ahead and release them. That's what I think is going to happen.
That sound right. That sound right.
Because Miami is like, yeah, give us a 5th or a 4th round or something like that, and then you got to go ahead and re-sign us. So I think the Cowboys are gonna say, you know what, we'll just wait. We'll wait y'all out. Because
that makes sense. That makes sense, man. They just kind of playing cat and mouse a little bit.
I have been looking all over the place for anything about where he's going with the Saints. If the Saints were worried about him, they would have already had him in. And the day he was supposed to be visiting, he was in Florida at a college and stuff, talking to his old coach and stuff. So I'm like, there's no urgency in here right now. So I think that's when the Cowboys said, okay, yeah, we're not in a bidding war with this guy right now. Yeah, we got your number. We got you figured out. So I think that they might end up getting them in the long run, because I think the after the Amari Cooper trade and everything else, because we had a lot of people who are looking and say, man, look what they traded, AB for. Cowboys paid too much. I think teams are looking at the Cowboys as the cash cow that we can run a game on.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. I didn't think about it like that. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, we'll find out if that's good. But then as soon as I get off the show, find out he's been traded to the Saints or something. I just look like a freaking idiot. But, at least in my mind, that seems like the cat and mouse game that they're playing right now. But, regardless of how you feel about it, you got to look at the team. You've been a fan since 1980. Was that the year you were born?
Yeah.
Okay. Man, damn, all y'all so young. I truly am just old. I mean, I was in high school in 1980. Damn.
I'm knocking on 40. 40 is like pulling me. It's just pulling me.
I would love to be 40. But I had a point in here about since the 80s. Now, see, I'm so old. I'm getting dementia and stuff. But I had a point. Now I forgot what the heck it was. But it'll come back to me. It'll probably come back to me after the show and stuff. But
see, my dad, my granddad, they were diehard Cowboy fans. My dad, he knew Tom Landry. He knew Jimmy Johnson. He knew Jerry.
Nice.
He used to go shopping. Him and Jimmy Johnson used to go shopping together. Dallas Gold and Silver. Well, it don't exist anymore, but right off of 35, and I was kind of born into it, you know. So that's why. And I used to be a ball boy. Actually, I used to be a ball boy for the Cowboys back in 90, 94, 95-ish. Yeah, 94, 90. Nice. From 94 to like 98. It was like a side little job I had. Yeah, it was pretty cool, man.
Javier asked about C.J. Anderson, who did have 5 yards per carry.
Man.
Would you like to have that as a backup for Zeke?
Yeah, I would. Oh, yeah. You really can't get too pumped up with somebody else's scheme, though, and somebody else's blocking, somebody else's Kool-Aid. You know what I'm saying? Just because the Kool-Aid was good over there don't mean it's going to be good, nice and sweet when he get over here. Like I said, I don't know. I mean, they need to bring somebody in to take the load off of Zeke, because Zeke was walking around limping last year. I mean.
And see, I worry about Zeke, the way they keep running between the tackles, 25, 30 carry, touches a game, if he's going to be able to last. Now, you look at teams and things like that and say that the running back has made the difference, because when Gurley was kind of slowed down, you saw Golf's numbers go down. And you've kind of seen that kind of throughout the NFL. You got great quarterbacks, but it's a hell of a lot easier when you got a running back that's running well. But if we keep running him like we did this past year, this long-term deal is going to be screwed up. I'd like to see a change of pace back. Richard Yancey, thank you very much for the super chat. And I would like to see him get the ball more in space, using more, short passing games, or where it's basically like a long handoff. So instead of hitting, defensive tackles, let me take on a linebacker or a cornerback more times than not to prolong his career, and definitely get a change of pace back in there just to make them, keep them guessing, keep them on their toes.
Yeah, I mean, it's a passing league, but you still gotta establish the run. That's your opening. That's your when you establish the run, you literally bully a team. If you can bully that team, that means if they can't stop the run, they definitely not gonna be able to stop the pass. So if we can establish that, I do think they need to bring somebody in here. C.J. Anderson's pretty, he's damn good running back. He ran us on the ground. We just didn't have an answer for him. That's because we were tired. We were tired as hell, and we just didn't have an answer for him. They need to figure something out, because they're gonna wear Zeke out. They're gonna kill him, because he's running the ball, catching balls out of the backfield, play action, all that shit. He's doing it all, man. So.
Richard Yancey says, check out the cap space for next year. I'll check that out after the show. No news. That's right. They're really today. Since Randall Cobb being signed, there has been almost nothing news-wise other than visits, with nobody, of course, signing. And today's been really, really quiet, which kind of gets me. You know when it's too quiet in Dallas, something's about to happen.
Yeah, there you go. I was just about to say that. That means something about to blow up.
All right, so here we are. Free agency is just about, at least the first wave of free agency is just about over. We'll have the second wave after the draft, and then the third wave during training camp. How do you feel about our Cowboys going into this season?
I feel pretty good. I really do. We have the tools. We have the tools. We got to get through the draft. So we got to get through the draft. We got to figure out how that's going to iron out and play out. Once we do that, then we'll get a better understanding of going into next year how dominant we can be. The key is to be dominant, and we got the players to do it. We got rid of Cole Beasley. Cole Beasley was a good. He's gonna be missed, but the focus. You can tell the focus wasn't all there with him, with the rapping off the field, and and him wanting to get the ball like he's not like he all the time like he's an outside receiver. Now we got somebody like Cobb there. He's all about football. It seems like he's a playmaker. He's yards after the catch or greater. I feel pretty good going into this season. We're going to be a lot dominant now. Losing like we did last year gives you that experience that you need to like, okay, I don't want that ass whooping or that butt whooping again. So let me do this right. Let me do that. You know, that's the best experience you can get, just getting your butt whooped like that. So I feel pretty good, man. Everybody, there's no excuse. Like I'm gonna keep saying, there's really no excuse. I hate to keep saying that, but the coaches have to really come into play. Now that we got some coaching changes and things like that, we really have to see how this is gonna play out.
Right.
Because
I agree
the expectations are high by the time we got it.
Well, here's the thing. If we can do better than we did last year starting out, we started out cold. And you think about some of the games that we were in, if we had won a couple of them, like, let's say the Texans game. If we hadn't punted, if we hadn't punted in overtime there and maybe went for it and gotten it, kicked the field goal, could have won that game. You think about the Redskin game and that call. If we had won a couple of those games that were kind of like that, even Carolina, where we only scored 8 points. If we can start out just a little bit better and play a little bit better, and I feel, to me, when I look at our offensive line, I know Vosh will say we need to draft another offensive lineman. I don't know that is the urgency for me in my taste because, being a defensive lineman, I still want that, 350-pound gorilla in the middle that is literally eating centers for breakfast. But I look at the offensive line, and if Travis Frederick really is back, if he is really back, we're adding a Pro Bowl center back to the line.
Yeah.
Zach Martin was on one leg all season with that knee. He hurt that knee in training camp. If he gets that thing worked on and it's back to where it was, and with us re-signing Cam Fleming, when Tyrone Smith misses a couple games like he's done the last few years, you're not going to a Chaz Green. If Connor Williams plays a little bit better, beefs up a little bit more, I still think he'd be better as a tackle. I think
that's what I'm worried about.
I really think they should put him at tackle and take Lyle Collins back at guard. My God, I still believe.
Thank you.
He should be a guard because to me, most people don't see a difference between a guard and a center and a tackle and stuff like that. But it's two totally different positions. That guard is more drive blocking, more pulling, more downfield. That tackle is more of a defensive position where you've got to be able to set that edge and stuff. And I just don't see him being able to set that edge the way that he had those wheels to get downfield, to be a lead blocker and stuff, to get to the second level to the linebackers and things. And I don't know why they don't want to play him at guard, or maybe he doesn't want to play at guard, or if they don't think Connor Williams is ready to play that tackle, position. But
now, do we still have that Samoan guy, Suafalo?
I don't know if they re-signed him or not. I know we ended up signing Joe Looney back, and I know we got Cam Fleming. I got to look on Solifalo. Solifalo, his first game he played was really, really good, and I think it was the best thing that Connor Williams got hurt because to me he seemed like he was like a deer caught in the headlights. I think when he got injured was able to catch his breath because when he came in that Eagle game, I'm going to be honest with you. Me and Michael were at that game, and when Zach Martin went out, it was just like, oh, my God. But Connor Williams actually played better than Zach Martin was playing in that game and played really, really well at right guard. And it seemed like he was a different player after the injury. So I'm hoping that he takes another step next year. Now he's got that rookie stank off of him.
Yeah. A football team starts with an offensive line.
Right.
Offensive line
and defensive line.
Yeah. Well, on the offensive side of the ball, offensive line, that's your bouncer at the club that controls everything. You know what I mean? So once that is strong, we're good. Travis Frederick is never going to be 100%. I think he's just with this condition that he has, he just has to kind of deal with it. Like I say, it's not cured. Something that's never going to go away. He's always going to have it.
But Mark Sadowski had that and ended up coming back from it, and ended up, of course, winning a couple Super Bowls with Denver. So there's been a couple of guys that have had it that hopefully he's one of those ones. Blake Adam, thank you very much for the super chat. I'm going to do, if you can tell everybody, because it's actually 10 o'clock. I can't believe how fast time goes. Tell everybody where to find you.
All right, guys, I want to thank y'all hey, Mark Holmes, I want to thank you for having me on, man. Like I say, I've been watching you for years, man.
Be careful of that,
Inspiration.
man. You'll get brain damage.
So when
I said, be careful watching me too much. You'll get brain damage.
nah.
Okay.
Yeah, man. Y'all can find it right here, Dallas Cowboys fan 1980, man, on YouTube. Same thing for Twitter. Same thing for Facebook. I talk Cowboys, man. I try to speak my mind. Whatever's going on, I try to get it out there, just like Mark Holmes, you know. Man, you cowboyed up and prayed up because you never know what the day is going to bring you.
Amen. You know, I always try to live every day like it might be my last because, you know, it might be my last. You never know. So I try and put in as much as I can. I appreciate you coming on. And Aaron Stanley, along with Richard Normus are our two winners tonight. Email me at, let me make sure I can pull this down. Boom, 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 boom. It's at cowboysmark94@gmail. And I'll put that back up. And if anybody wants to get any of the, where is it? Boom. Okay. And if anybody wants wants any of the merchandise, Power of 4 capitalized will get you 20% off. So Aaron Stanley, make sure you email me, and Richard Normus, because you guys are a winner. Cowboys fan 1980. We got to do this plenty more. Definitely loved having you on here. When I come to Dallas, I hope we can get together, hang out, have a few drinks together, and talk about our Dallas Cowboys going all the way to the Super Bowl. How about that,
Yes,
guys?
sir.
Anybody like that idea? And as always, guys, any news and stuff on the Dallas Cowboys, we're going to do our best to bring it to you. I am worn the heck out. This has been a busy, busy week. And unfortunately, I have to go to my day job. But we're going to take one last look here and thank my man, Joseph Hartley, the football gods that are up there. I can't thank you enough, my man, for putting that. It's like it was meant to go there. We put the lighting behind it, of course, the blue light for the Dallas Cowboys. But as always, friends, I want to thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing. But right now, it's time to turn off the lights.
The party's over. They say that all good things must end. Call it a night. The party's over. And tomorrow and next year starts the same old thing again.